All right, good afternoon here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. I'm Joel McCall. We're visiting now with Oak Moser. He is the head coach for the Onalaska lacrosse boys hockey program. First of all, Coach, thank you so much for joining me. Do appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks, Joel. Happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have some hockey on coming up on Thursday when you guys host West Salem, but I also want to talk a lot about the season overall and what's been happening with the Hilltoppers. 1-3 on the season, won your first match, first game 3-1 over DC Everest, lost the last three to Sauk Prairie, Winona, and Madison Memorial. So overall, Coach, what were your thoughts so far? And then I'm going to ask a little bit more about your last game.
Well, we got off to a good start. It was nice. DC Everest is a nice team. Things kind of went our way that game. We played pretty well, got in the lead early, and were able to keep it. Played some pretty tough teams since then as well. Obviously, we would have liked to grab one or two of those three that we lost. Some things are coming along pretty well. Our special teams have been pretty good. 5-on-5, we have to be a little better. We're a little bit young, actually. We have 5 seniors in the entire program. It's not a bad thing, and they're all great guys. So a lot of people are playing. We need contributions from a lot of people to be successful any given night. Our story the last few games has been we've found a way to only play 2 solid periods and 1 rough period, and that rough period has done us in here a couple of times. So we're figuring that out, and I think as the season goes on here, we get in conference play pretty soon. I know we have a small conference, but those are big rivalries. I think we're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, you completely hit on it about the one bad period, because that's what I was going to mention was that if you look at the Madison Memorial game, you lost 7-2, but at the same time, the first 2 periods was a 3-2 deficit.
Oh, yes, and actually, unfortunately, we gave up that 3rd goal with only 2 seconds left in the 2nd period, hoping to hit that intermission tied up and then, see what we got. We came out a little flat in the 3rd, and about halfway through the period, they got a couple quick ones, and we were fighting uphill at that point, and it got away from us at the end.
How do you really talk to your group about finishing or finding that moment of let's turn this game around in our favor, especially when those things are happening?
Absolutely. It's a great question, Joel. We try to focus on winning habits and doing things right day in, day out. It all starts with practice. It starts with preparation, starts with every touch of the puck they get. And we're really trying to focus hard on that. You can't always control the outcome or the way a call goes against you or the way a puck bounces. But the team as a whole has defined a culture that's built around responsibility, commitment, teamwork, and work ethic. And those are the things we can control. So, my challenge is keep players focused on those things every day, practice, game, between periods, remind them that regardless of the outcomes we're experiencing, we can control those things. And we have enough skill. If we do that, we're going to get more favorable outcomes than unfavorable. So looking to right the ship a little bit here, hopefully this week, and see if we can build some momentum going into conference play.
Well, as you said, you're such a young squad, too. I started looking at some of your statistics, and the guy that leads the way is Matt Tillman. He's a sophomore from Onalaska. He's got 4 goals as well as 2 assists. What's he been showing you on the ice?
I think Matt's picked his game up this year. I've talked to him, but Matt's a junior, by the way, this year.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know. I could have something wrong on that roster there. He's been really good with the puck on the stick this year. Brought a little more energy to his game, I think, and he's been able to capitalize on some opportunities. Some other guys, are doing that as well. He plays on a line with obviously himself and Sawyer Meyer and Judah Alvarado, who's a central 3-sport athlete, great guy. And our lines might not look this way by Christmas time, but right now it's what we're running with, and trying to build some synergy, and those guys seem to have some. So, we keep them on the ice as much as we can right now.
I was going to ask you about chemistry, too, because I'm sure you're kind of retooling that. Grayson Andel is another guy, 2 goals, 1 assist. Is he a freshman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
he's playing. We have a whole that particular line, Grayson Andel, Liam Branson, and Logan Sauter are all first-year high schoolers. One of them's a sophomore, but first year for high school hockey. And they have some learning and maturing to do, because no matter how much of a standout you might be at Bantams, it's different when everybody on the ice is 16, 17, 18 years old and you're 15. And so it's a little bit different game, but they're adjusting well. And we use a lot of guys, and it's going to stay that way. And I think as the season goes on, we're going to be hard to play against, and that's our goal.
Well, again, we're talking with Oak Moser, the Onalaska Lacrosse Hilltopper boys hockey coach. And you mentioned Jude Alvarado. He does have one goal. He's got a couple of assists as well. So he's playing well from Central. And then I do have to ask you about in net. I looked at your statistics. You've had 3 goalies so far on the season. Are you trying to narrow that down and get one guy, or what's kind of the story of the goalkeeping?
Sure. We've had a couple of young guys come in the program who have been goalies, through their youth hockey. And Josh Pogriba from Logan is our starter right now. He was last year. Last year he was a sophomore, but first year of high school hockey, and that transition from Bantams is tough. Josh is playing well. He's doing better this year. He's made a step improvement, and he's always focused, continues to do that. And we're going to be relying on him. The couple of freshmen, and we have another upperclassman, Zach Collins, also from Logan, that last year stepped up for us when we didn't have goalies, and he is sticking it out and showing some improvement as well. So I feel comfortable that we have 4 goalies that we can play. Josh is our starter right now at the varsity level. Those other guys are all getting time at the JV level, and certainly backing up Josh, and we all practice together every day. So we're leaning on Josh a little bit. I think he's going to continue to step up, and if not, we got a couple guys that, if he needs a break here or there, are capable of doing that. And those 2 young guys are Dane Adams and Parker Tripp.
Yes, so. Thank you for throwing those out there too, because like I said, I knew you had 3 of them in net. And you got West Salem coming up on Thursday. The Tigers are 0-3. What can you tell me about them?
I've had the chance to watch a little bit of their games in video, and they've got some excellent goaltending going for them for sure. I think they're the Panthers. Did you call them the Tigers?
Oh, I did. You're right.
That's Black River. We have them later too. And they're playing hard for their new coach. They have a tendency, they pack in and don't want to give you a lot. And if you're willing to throw pucks from the perimeter at their net, they'll let you do that all day. They're solid in there. That you're going to have to do more than that to get an advantage on them. You mentioned we're 1-3, so both teams are going into that game with 3 losses. So my guess is whoever works the hardest is going to have a good outcome.
You got another game right after that too. I believe you play Oregon, right?
Yes.
On Friday.
Yep.
And that's also at home.
Yes, we've been able to get Oregon on the schedule, a good program for a lot of years. I don't know how they've started the season. I think they're doing all right. I've seen the record, but I haven't been able to watch them play. We went down there and we're fortunate to get a win against them in a pretty high scoring game down there. I think this will, I wouldn't anticipate there'll be as many goals scored in this one as there was down there by both teams. And so it'll be another battle, and back-to-back games are always tough, but sometimes you got to be flexible on your schedule to get the programs you want to play.
Well, and as you said, you'll be going into conference play here shortly, and we wish you guys the best of luck. You're going to make some history coming up on Thursday as Nami George, Josh Buxton, and I believe Coach Arnold is going to be on the call for the hockey game on Thursday. I will not be there, Coach. I'm pretty much stuck to my house for the entire week, and if people don't know that, I will not be doing any play-by-play all week long. We do have girls basketball a couple times this week. We've got boys hockey. I think we even have boys basketball coming up on Friday or on Saturday. And I'm not going to be able to cover any of that, but I'm doing some coaches interviews because I want to get you guys out there and get your programs out there. And hopefully I can get back on the men too and be back on the road and start hitting some of these games. But Coach Moser, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it so much, and good luck to you guys. And you'll probably get an email from Nami. He's going to ask for some stuff from you coming up before Thursday.
Okay, no problem. And thank you, Joel. Appreciate the opportunity and hope to connect again soon.
Sounds good. That's Coach Moser then. I'm Joel McCall. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel.